Welcome to the Prosperity Podcast for entrepreneurs who are ready to drop the hustle and earn more. I'm your host, Danielle Amos, business and success coach, certified Proctor Gallagher Institute consultant, and lifestyle entrepreneur. Each week, I'll bring you amazing entrepreneurs who have built wealth, harnessing the power of their mind. Prosperity and money are truly about energy, and I'm on a mission to help you create financial abundance through the power of thought. It's time we started normalizing conversations about money and create the wealth that is yours. Are you ready? Let's do this. Welcome to episode 108 of the Prosperity Practice, the podcast that helps you live your most abundant life. My name is Danielle Amos, and I am your host. I love the number 108. So this podcast is a very special episode about comparison and competition. And as women, many of us, I believe, especially because of social media at the moment, it's very easy to compare yourself to others and to feel not as worthy or successful or as incredible as the woman next to you. And this podcast, if you've ever looked at an Instagram feed and thought, oh, if only I had that, or if only I was her, or gosh, look how good she's doing, this podcast is for you. My late mentor, Bob Proctor, him and I would talk about this quite a bit. Were thousands of coaches in our company in the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and I was one of many. And I had the privilege of being mentored directly by Bob Proctor as one of his proteges. And we would talk about comparison because it was very easy to see what others were doing and how well they were doing. And I remember one time he said to me, like, what are you doing looking over there? What are you doing? Like, stop it. So get in your own lane. You're comparing your results to another person's results, not knowing anything but the highlight reel of Instagram or Facebook or the celebrations online that you see. You have no idea what they've overcome to get there, what's been going on in the background. You don't know the paradigms that they've had to overcome or change. And he asked me if I was in this game for short-term results or my life. And a long time ago, I had committed to this work being my life's work. And he reminded me that by comparing myself to another person, I'm comparing myself, like it's like the saying goes, apples to oranges. There's nothing to compare because we're not the same. As human beings, we've all been programmed and we have paradigms within. And we're comparing another person's journey to ours, although we have been programmed completely different. So it makes no sense to compare an apple to an orange. The genetic makeup is different. The paradigm, the environmental programming is different. So of course, the outcomes are different. Now, it's super important to realize that the person next to you has equal power and you're different. So each one of us has unlimited resources, unlimited potential. We're equal in that way, and we're different. We each have a different purpose, a different reason for being in this physical body as spiritual beings, a different story, a different way of communicating, perhaps the same or similar things. You know, for me, as I was comparing myself to others in this industry, we're speaking the universal laws. We're speaking the universal truths in our own way, based on our own experiences, based on our own life. And there's value to each of the ways, because not one way resonates with everyone in the world. There are people that get me, resonate with the way that I speak. And if you're listening to this podcast, you're most likely one of those people. And there are people that cannot stand the way that I speak. And so Hopefully they're not listening to this podcast. It doesn't make my way right or wrong, their way right or wrong. It's just different and equally as powerful, because the person that doesn't resonate with you, for example, they resonate with someone else. And this is the same for what you do in your life. All of the experiences that you've had up until this point in your life, today is the youngest you'll ever be. All the experiences that you have had have been for a reason and for you. And if you have the perception that because of these experiences, this is why you are so incredible at XYZ, or this is why you are able to give unconditional love, or this is why you really understand this and that, and you'll embrace who you are, stand proud of where you've come from and the things that you've experienced, and know that because of that, only you can help certain people. Only your voice will resonate with certain people. So it's super important that you use your voice, you stand in your power, and allow the world to see you. Be the light. Don't dim your light by comparing yourself to others. And when you do compare yourself to others, when you do see another person, a woman who catches your attention and maybe for a moment makes you a little jealous, or was like, or wow, like maybe it's like, look at her, if only I could have that kind of energy or look like that, or know that it's normal to be a little jealous. Know that it's normal to notice another person and want that. So it's really important that you don't make yourself wrong for the feeling, because that compounded emotion, like it's like, here I'm having the feeling of like, ooh, I'm a little jealous, or I want that, or why does she have it and not me? And then we make ourselves wrong for even having that emotion. And so it compounds, and that's worse. Anytime we make ourselves wrong or we judge ourselves, that doesn't work. And so instead, understand that this jealousy is actually a really good thing, and it's showing you something. It's teaching you something. Because if you really allow it to be present for yourself just long enough, you may be able to see parts or understand that that is also for you. Meaning what you see in her is because it's actually in you too. So what you see in this other woman, it's because she's reflecting back what's possible for you and what you're here to contribute. Like, let's say that you see a beautiful woman, or maybe she became a millionaire and she's celebrating, and it triggers something in you. It's because it's for you as well. You're noticing in another because it's a deep desire for you. And if it is a desire for you, it is for you. It's not possible for your inner being to give you a desire if you couldn't achieve it. So allow the jealousy, allow the why not me to actually act as a mirror, and see yourself in that mirror. And the truth is, we're all connected, we're all one. And when we see this, when we're jealous of another person, it just really activates that part of us that sees ourselves as separate, which is the ego. So instead, see that this jealousy, this moment is really an indication. It's a projection of what you desire for yourselves. And because you desire it, it is actually for you. It can also be a tool for projection and show you ways that maybe perhaps you've been keeping yourself small. It can just give you information
to show you what's next for you. And if you overcome dimming your light, when you overcome dimming your light, this is what you'll have for you. This is what's in store for you. It's so good. Now, the other way that jealousy is one way that we get triggered by another person. Also, we can get triggered by another person who annoys us, who rubs us the wrong way, who offends us. And this is also a gift. This is also a gift because there is something in that for you. Maybe, like, again, it's as projection. So see it as a mirror. And is there something in the way that that woman or that person's behaving who you see yourself in that? So maybe she's too loud, or she is too harsh, and you have this feeling that at times you are also too harsh. Well, is there an area where you can, of your life, where you can stop judging yourself about being harsh? Or perhaps it's like you get to choose a different way of being, rather than being harsh, and you can choose a softer way. So when someone triggers you and activates you in that way, it's really an invitation to see what it's saying about you. Is there a wound inside, a way that you've been seeing yourself that you get to heal? Or do you wish you could be more like that? And this is really giving you permission to do that. And she activates you because you're like, if only I could be that flamboyant or that loud or proud. And so she triggers you because really that's a desire within. So rather than competing, because there is no such thing as competition, there is only creation. What does that even mean? Well, in the world, because we're each different and because we each have mental faculties, we have the power to create our results, our circumstances, the amount of money in the bank. That's manifestation. We as human beings have that power. You have that power. She has that power. I have that power. And because each of us have equal power, but we're different, we can be, do, and have anything we want. And so there's no such thing as competition, because my millions does not take away from your millions or her millions. We each have unlimited supply. There is more than enough to go around. So there's no need to compete, because as you become one of the greats in your field, she can also be one of the greats in the same field. There's no such thing as the best. We're one of the best. And so if we reframe this idea of competition to just see that we're all on this journey and that we can all become the best versions of ourselves, and we're all different, and we have equal power and unlimited resources. This is such a gift. No more competition. Understanding that there's only creation. And in this lens and in this energy, we can congratulate and be happy for each other and lift each other up and create community as women. And together we rise. I really feel that this is a tipping point for what it means to be a woman. And together we're so much more powerful. Let's let go of the old paradigm of taking each other out or speaking harshly about each other behind our backs. Instead, we can lift each other up and acknowledge each other and our growth and the journey and what it has taken to get ourselves here. And like my mentor said, you don't know how much work she's done in the background. Trust that she's doing the inner work. Trust that it's also not easy for her. Trust that you're both here for a reason. Trust and see her beauty, see her struggles, see her pain, because you know yours. And when you see another woman at the top, if you see another woman walking in her glory and her success, acknowledge her, praise her, let her know that you see her. Know and assume that she's done the work. And so often in society, we think, well, it must be nice. She's got a rich husband or daddy's girl. No, assume she bought that Tesla. Assume she bought that diamond ring. Acknowledge her. And as you see them, they'll see you. No need to compare. No such thing as competition, only creation. If this episode resonated with you, please share it. And I'd love to hear your questions. If you'd like to go deeper into this right now, and there's still time to join us, we have the Allure program, The Art of Magnetism. And if you know that you have deep-seated programming and paradigms that you'd like to transform, consider joining us for the Thinking into Results program or the year-long Empress Experience, where you have it all. If you have questions, reach out. We're happy to hop on a call with you, send you links or more information. We're here for you. And if you resonate with the way that I speak and I teach this, it's your time. Trust that. Trust yourself. Thank you in advance for sharing this podcast. Thank you in advance for listening. I'm so grateful. Expect abundance.